You, as a man, when you have an experience of a girl and you feel you get high and you feel an opening and you're intoxicated, you enjoy it. So you don't want to lose it. So how's that her fault? You are now going to start adjusting your behavior to what she likes and what she dislikes in order to please her so that she doesn't withdraw her love. What does that have to do with her? That's you. Because you're a drug addict. And without her, you don't have that experience. Well, that's not love. That's a drug. We just described literally a drug. Without that product, you don't feel yourself or you don't feel good. So, as a drug addict, doesn't your drugs modify your behavior? So that's exactly how guys are with a girl. That's why once they're in a relationship or they meet a girl, generally, very often, their behavior starts to change because they don't want to lose the girl. Because they don't want to lose the high, they don't want to lose the experience that she is facilitating. So next thing you know, it's been a couple of weeks, you don't do this anymore, you avoid this, because you don't want to fight. You want to avoid a confrontation, you want to avoid the unpleasantness of the attitudes and the moping and all those things, which is her strategy to slowly control you so that you become the little pet that she wants. Now, I'm not saying this in a negative way, I'm just saying, well, she wants a pet and you want to get high. So she's molding you to be the pet that she wants you to be. So every time you do something she doesn't like, just psychically, she closes something. Just like mommy did to you when you were like a little boy. She closes that. Oh yeah? Okay. She doesn't even have to say something. Some girls are big mouths, but most of them, a lot of them, just their behavior. And what is that? It means close. Oh yeah? Okay. Click. I'll close that door. Now you're like, well, oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh no, come on. Don't take it away. Okay. Okay, sorry, baby. Okay. But she's conditioning you. She's training you like we train a dog. Now, I don't want to say, this is not about that. It's on you as a guy. Right? As a man, you can humor her to a certain degree, but at some point it's like, okay, it's enough now. That's why in the manosphere they say you got to be able to walk away. Well, can you walk away? No, because you're intoxicated. You need a drug to feel yourself. So they'll say you better spin many plates, you better have many girls, so that this doesn't work, go to another one. Yeah, but does that really solve your drug addiction? Are you replacing your drug addiction from here to another one? That's why you have to be, come on, that's why I get annoyed about surface dwellers. Everything is shallow. There's no thorough analysis of your situation and why you suffer. But okay, so you can spin as many places as you like and you can switch, let one girl go and go for another one. I have no problem with that. Do you still have an addiction? Do you not have pain that you use her to make it go away? If that's the case, it doesn't matter how many plates you spin, you're a bitch anyways. And generally these guys who are spinning many plates, they're players. And God forbid they find out what he's doing, because then it's over. They'll all punish him. So he's walking like this grown man, hiding, walking on eggshells, trying to avoid anybody knowing who he really is. What kind of life is that? Now I understand why the guys are doing this, right? I genuinely do. But what kind of life is that? Your biggest stars do that. They hide. What does that say about you? Whatever it is I am is unacceptable for her or unacceptable for society, which means I have to hide it to go get my fix on the side. Well, that's it. You've just described you're sick, you're diseased. Whatever I am is unacceptable, and I have to hide, and due to the fact that something about me is unacceptable, there's a lack, and I have to compensate it with a drug. So the stuff we talk about here, it's not so complex. Everybody can understand if they bother to listen. But what kind of life is that? So I lived this with some of the girls years ago when I was dating, like you know, those like, yeah, discuss. I was like, well, I can't be myself here. I'm suffocating. And every time these aspects of my personality come out, I get scolded and punished. And then I have to deal with it for a fucking week and a half or 2 weeks. I can't live like this. It's a mess. And this is slowly just making you into a good little doggy. But at the time, I was like doing inner work. My inner work has always been number one after my first ever relationship, when she just like made me into a good doggy. After this, inner work started. So I just keep growing in my capacity to bear that psychic. No, I eventually like, get the fuck off of me. Because I understood whatever I'm looking for is inside of me. Now today, we're talking about years ago, I may need some of that loving or some of that validation, but I knew I had a drug addict and I had a drug addiction, and in my system, I'm like, I'm gonna make myself into I don't need it. So I'm gonna continue to do my inner work and create the life I need to have that strength and stability. So I shed that drug, and I could see her seeing me slip through her fingers, because every time I'm taking a step forward and every time I'm growing, the control system that she has starts to vanish, because I don't fucking care. It's not I don't love her. It's I don't care. Don't control me. This is who I am. If you don't feel comfortable with this, I understand. I respect that. Move about. Move along. This is who I am. Number one, if you aspire to have actual love in your life, you have to know who you are. This is what I've been trying to tell you. So if you don't know who you are, or you're pretending to be something else, you're never going to find love anyways in the first place. Except to discover who you are is a scary thing, because what you are and what you think you are, or what you'd like to pretend that you are, may be completely different. And the same goes for the girl. And we have so many taboos of what's right or what's wrong, and our energy system is so like constricted. We don't know how, energy doesn't know how to flow properly, and when it does, it creates problems, because it doesn't flow well, because the shortamsis, the energy pathways are constricted, so it creates too much friction, and you don't know how to express it, and you've never seen somebody express it properly. Everything is you're in ignorance. It doesn't work, right? So when it comes out, it creates explosion. And we live in a society, if there's an explosion, you're supposed to be perfect instantly. You're supposed to come out of your mom's womb perfect. You should never make a mistake. God forbid you make a mistake. Then they will crucify you for the end of the. If oh my God, he raised his voice, whistle, call the police, right? And then so fear. There's no room to explore. And then God forbid now she does that also, right? Because you live in your relationship with a girl, you live in a world where you want her, a woman is pure. No, she's not. A woman is a whore. No, she's not. A woman is this. No, she's not. You don't know what a woman is, but she's now, depending on the kind of guy you are and the kind of cultural context you have, she's selling you a dream of who she is, right? So let's say you're Middle Eastern. She's not going to behave like a slut. Or generally, I apologize. Generally, I don't want to generalize. Generally, she's going to portray that Middle Eastern kind of flavor. Let's say she's Indian, because that's what's expected of her. And then you buy into that because that's what you want. And some of it may be somehow kind of true, but underneath culture, there's woman, psyche, reality, conditioning. So God forbid now you discover who she really is and what she really desires and what her fantasies really are, and what she's really possessed with. It would scare the living shit out of you if you would discover the truth. You would not love her anymore, because you never loved her in the first place. But she'd scare you, would be the word. And so many times women, they say, I can't show you who I really am, it'll scare them away. Well, yeah, because she's insane. Well, yeah, but why is she insane? Is it normal to be insane? Insane equals so out of balance. So what has made it so out of balance? What forces pulled it so out of balance? And what do these forces want? So if you actually get to discover a person, most likely it scared the shit out of you. You'd run because you can't handle it. And women know that you can't handle it. So they never want to show you who they really are, because you can't fucking handle it. So they only show you what they want, what they feel that you can handle. If they would show you what's living inside of them, you'd fucking run. You couldn't handle the intensity because you're weak. Your nervous system is weak and you don't know how to navigate the psychic realms, which is where she lives on a full-time basis. And now let's flip it to the guy's side. If a guy's masculine energy starts to rise in this modern world with women who are like, who are educated that anything that's remotely masculine is evil, authority, oh my God, a man has authority? Impossible. She freaks out. She panics. It doesn't fit into her conditioned, what it should be ideal. Nothing. So here's the situation. I think I'll wrap it up with this. Everybody lives in a fantasy of what it should be. And reality is so far from what it should be. And every passing day of reality and what it should be, due to the incessant conditioning which is exponentially increasing, is the distance is becoming so far and so far and so far. I'm not going to say it's unbridgeable. It's almost unbridgeable. And that's why people, they don't want to be engaging with one another anymore. That's why you have more same-sex relationships, because we don't know how to interact with one another. You need a girl still wants to have sex. She wants love, she wants affection, she wants tenderness, she wants to be held, she wants some kind of stimulation. Well, that's why that may be an option for me. Same sex. It's a girl. At least there's an understanding of girlness. Then they quickly discover that a girl is a pain in the ass. I've had a lot of friends who are lesbians. Yeah, it's a girl. You got to deal with a girl. It's constantly whining and complaining. That's a mess also. Anyways, I digress. The point is, every passing day, the distance is increasing. And how do we bridge this? Well, it's the separation is becoming so great, in my opinion, and this is engineered, it's not made to be bridged. There's an agenda, there's a social agenda that is designed to make it unbridgeable. For the few who are made to be bridged, you're going to have to do a lot of work. You're going to have to discover yourself as a man, what it means, and you're going to have to discover what lives inside of her. And that scares you. And that's the truth. Nobody wants to talk about that. It scares the shit out of you. What a woman really is scares the living shit out of you, because it's not a little princess. She's not a princess. She may have a princess aspects to her. Sure, it's not a princess. She's not innocent. You need her to be innocent. And when I say she's not innocent, doesn't mean she's guilty, right? Because innocent comes with the word guilty. No, she's not guilty either, but she's certainly not innocent. She's not dumb. She may not have the same intelligence as the natural intelligence of the masculine principle. She has her own intelligence. You have no idea how that works. None. Like, none. I was going to give you none. It scares the shit out of you what lives inside of her. The power of the feminine that she is the embodiment of scares the living shit out of you. It's death as far as you're concerned. And thank God for some of you she still has culture where she can now pretend that there's a cultural relation. Because if anything underneath you can't handle it. That's the truth. I'm not saying this to insult you. When I want to insult you, I insult you. You know how I am. I'm just going to tell you, go fuck yourself. You're a moron. No, this is me being straight up like a brother. I'm like, you can't handle that. That's why she doesn't want to open up to you. She can't even handle it. So if you can't handle it, how the hell is she going to handle it? So you're supposed to be the fulcrum, the stable point. If you want her to unravel, that means to what's there to appear, you have to be able to hold it down. Well, how are you going to hold it down when you're scared of the psyche? You're a psychophobe, as we've discussed in the orange shirt video. You're a psychophobe. You're scared of the psyche. You're scared of your own psyche. You're scared of her psyche. You're scared of psyche. How the fuck are you going to help a person if you're scared of everything that's invisible when 99% of everything is invisible? So that's it. That's why you squeeze yourself at the surface, and even the surface is now too big for you. You're gonna be squeezing the surface of a surface. That's why I say the things you say. Try to say no to what I'm saying. It's obvious. It's in your face. So how the hell you want to have a decent relationship with a woman when you're terrified of the psyche, you're terrified of her psyche, you're terrified of what you really are? And society is not making it easy for you because anything could, right? So let's say you have energies that have been repressed for a long time. That means you don't know how to dance with them. You don't know how to be in relation to those energies. So at some point, let's say you want to start to access these energies. When you're going to connect to them, it's like you're going to use, let's say you're a righty, you're going to use your left arm. You don't know how to pitch a ball with the left arm. You're going to pitch it over the fence. You're going to break a window. You're going to pitch it on the floor and kill some kind of ant. Yeah, so it's awkward because you don't know how to use it. You haven't used it in so long. Yeah, but we live in a world that if you, by great misfortune, misuse your left arm because you never used it, You're not going to be crucified as an evil creature, while all you're trying to do is take what belongs to you and learn how to work it. So you have to find a person who's genuinely willing to, who has an understanding that as a human species, we've fucking been repressed and conditioned to the point of madness. So if we want what's been hidden to come to the surface, we have to have some sympathy towards one another and understand that we're gonna have to learn. So as we say, you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. So some stuff has to happen. And if you can't even create a space of a minimum of trust with one another so that these energies can move, what are you going to do? And everybody's scared and nobody trusts anybody. Who knows what she's going to do? Agreed. It's not, you're wrong. Agreed. Who the fuck knows? So this is a very difficult situation to navigate through. But nevertheless, this is a situation. You're listening to this. Quite obviously, there's a reason you're listening to this, and you're going to have to find your way to navigate to this. You don't have an excuse. But I didn't say it's easy. But that's life. What you going to do?